We talked about break-even analysis as one of the applications of algebra, so let's take a look at a problem. There are several things that we know about break-even analysis. For one, we know that cost must equal revenue. So that gives us sort of a basic equation that we can use to set up a problem. Sorry, here, trying to get my graphics. There we go. Cost equal to revenue. We also know that cost has a couple different aspects to it. So there are things that are fixed cost, and they're the same every single month, or in this example, every single week. And then there are things that we call variable cost, and variable cost are based on the item involved. So let's go look at this exact problem. As I read through it, I want to underline things as to whether they're cost or whether they're revenue. So a firm produces scientific calculators, right up my alley, because you're taking a math course. Calculators, what would be better? And it has a fixed cost, so that is one of these items that we were looking for right there. And this includes such things as salary, benefits, rent, electricity. Okay, we got it. And it has variable cost. So again, this is another one of those items that we're looking for, $6.50 per calculator. If the company can sell the calculators for $13.50, that's selling. That is the idea of revenue. So we'll find the break-even point. Well, what we need to figure out is X, a variable. We're going to let it stand for the number of calculators. So then we can write down the cost side of our equation. So our costs are 1,260, and that's the fixed cost, so no variable with that. In addition to that, we have our variable cost of $6.50, and that is per calculator. So we want to put our variable with that, multiply that by the number of calculators. And then in our equation, we have that this is equal to revenue. So we put our equal sign, and we're going to put our revenue. Our revenue is $13.50, and again, our revenue is per calculator, so we need our variable with it. So we have a little equation, and we can do the algebra to solve that. And so first thing I want to do is put my x terms together. So I'm going to minus 650x from both sides. So on this side I have now 7x. Over on this side these two cancel, and so I just have 1260. And then I'll divide both sides by 7. So a fairly straightforward equation to solve. Over here, these guys cancel, so I have x equal to, I'm going to put that on my calculator, and I get 180. So what does that 180 mean? Well, that 180 is our x, so that's the number of calculators. So we need to sell 180 calculators. And that means our revenue would be $13.50 times the 180. And so our revenue, which would equal our cost because it's a break-even point, would be $2,430. So in review, when we do a break-even analysis, we want to use this equation as our base, that cost and revenue are equal. We want to include the two kinds of costs that we see right in here. And then right here is our equation based on the situation that we were given. And we solved for x, the number of calculators, and then we could find both the revenue and the cost, which are equal at that point.